Now, contrary to popular belief, men and women are very different. Now, I've always, of course, known this logically, but this became starkly clear when I shifted my love coaching practice from working with men to then working with women. And now that we've had over 40,000 female clients here at Love Strategies, we've noticed several misconceptions that women frequently have about men, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you today in this video. 7 weird things that women typically don't know about men. Keep watching. Hey there, Adam Lidolce from lovestrategies.com, where I help successful single women get out there and attract love and do it with a proven strategy. And let me try to give you some insights about men that hopefully will help you in your love life. Number 1 is that men don't typically date looking for love. So with both of my coaching practices with men versus women, I would always have a phone call where I would see if they are a good fit as a client. Now, currently, we have a lot of those because we have a large team who does these love strategy sessions, and we learn the client's challenges, where it is that they want to go, and see if we can help. And whenever we ask a female what it is that they're looking for, they typically, like 98% of the time, say they're looking for love, they're looking for a committed exclusive relationship. On the other hand, when I used to work with men and I would ask them, what are you looking for? It was very rare. I would say 5% of the time where a guy would say out loud, I am looking for love. Now, I know what you all are thinking. You're probably thinking, oh yeah, guys are all dogs. They just want short-term flings or anything like that. It's not actually the case. It's just the words that we use and kind of the frame of reference and the lens that we use when we're dating. I mean, I'm a love coach. This is what I do for a living. But even when I was dating, I was single 10 years ago, I never had the mindset, I am looking for love. The way that guys typically date is, I want to get out there and be able to meet incredible girls and just see where it goes. And interestingly enough, that's how we coach our female clients to think about dating. Yes, you want to find love, and that's a good outcome to be looking for ultimately. But once you understand that outcome, actually push that aside, don't think about that, and just let's start getting you out there, meeting great men, and just see where it goes. Actually lowering the temperature for women is very, very powerful when it comes to their dating life. Number 2 is that men are just as romantic as women, if not more romantic than women. Most studies show that men actually tend to be more romantic than women. And there's one specific study that's based on what is known as the romantic belief scale that shows that men actually score higher on this scale and tend to place more emphasis on feeling passion in their relationships than women do. And it's really funny, on our Love Strategies podcast, Dr. Gary Lewandowski, our chief love scientist here, and we totally agree that we are both the total romantics in our marriages. Like, he's a total romantic compared to his wife, who isn't quite as warm and fuzzy. And I tend to be more of the romantic in my marriage. And that's perfectly okay. Guys tend to be more romantic, and actually a lot of data supports that. Number 3 may or may not surprise you, but men are actually more likely to cheat than women, and the gap widens as you age. Now, believe it or not, women who are ages 18 to 29 are actually a little bit more likely to cheat than men. It's almost equal, but they're a little bit more likely. As we progress in age, in the age groups, once a man gets into his 60s and 70s, men have a wide margin of being more likely to cheat than women do. Does that surprise you? I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Leave a comment, let me know. Number 4 is that men are more terrified of getting rejected by a woman than literally anything in the world. Like, I used to be a dating coach, helping men approach women. That was my job, and I'd help them overcome their fear. And for me, I overcame that fear pretty intensely. Like, it took a long time, but I really did overcome that fear. But even still, at that time in my life, I was more comfortable speaking on stage in front of 2,000 people, which is something I did a lot back then. I was more comfortable doing that than I was getting rejected by a woman that I was really attracted to. Like, even still, even tripping on stage in front of 2,000 people, that was easier certainly to me, but even to any of my clients would agree, than going up to a woman at a Starbucks and her rejecting us. Like, that is the intensity of this fear. And when I used to coach men, like, they would literally say, I would rather die than get rejected by a woman. I'd rather have spiders crawling all over me. Like, I can't even express the level of fear that men have. So if a woman can understand that when you're going out and you're trying to meet new people, understand their level of fears, I think it's going to allow you to have a little bit more grace when guys come up to you, and they might be a little bit more awkward or a little bit more shy. Number 5 is that men are actually less picky than women are when it comes to online dating. There's a number of different studies that support this, and you can look at the data from various online dating sites, but there's one study that shows from dating apps that men swipe 61% right on women, whereas women only swiped on 5% of men. And what's ultimately happening is that 90% of women are going after the top 10% of male profiles. Like those guys who have the top 10% of profiles, whatever you want to define that as, like they're attractive. Women just want those types of guys. They might have really good pictures. They have a funny profile. Whatever it is that is the most attractive, like 90% of the women are going after that. And then the bottom 90% of men are getting nothing. Like it is crickets down there. Whereas for women, like guys generally are messaging women of all different, levels of the apps. And we just kind of give a little bit more love. And so knowing this, hopefully that can allow you to maybe broaden your horizons a little bit and go for profiles that might not be that top 10%, the perfect guy where every single woman's going after, and realize that if you meet them in real life, these guys who might not be the top 10%, the bottom 90%, then you might have an incredible connection. And maybe you're looking past a lot of guys that you could meet in real life that could be a great connection, and you're just swiping past them because they don't have the perfect profile. Number 6 is that men find it very difficult to commit to a woman unless we are financially secure. Like, have you ever dated a guy who's in between jobs? You probably noticed that it was very difficult for them to actually stay in a committed relationship. Us men, we are hardwired to provide. I know it's silly, it's ridiculous because women can provide just as much as men can. Like, we really support equality in society nowadays. That's a wonderful thing. And of course we support that. But as a man, if we are not doing well on a basic level financially, or if we're certainly out of a job or we're really struggling with debt, even if we love a woman and we are really interested in pursuing a future with her, it's very difficult for us to commit, and it's unlikely. So if you're with a guy who is unemployed or he's really struggling professionally, I would be cautious, especially if you're finding he's pulling away. He's likely not going to be able to commit his life to you until he kind of figures out that part of his life first. And finally, number 7 is that men are kind of unsure of how to make a move on a woman in the 21st century. 65% of Americans say that an increased focus on sexual harassment, whether it's from the Me Too movement or just a general focus on sexual harassment and assault over the last few years, has made it actually harder for men to know how to interact with someone that they're on a date with. And look, it's a good thing that we're focusing on sexual harassment and assault. We want that. But it's also creating a challenge for a lot of men when they're going out and meeting women. At what point can you touch a woman? At what point can you say something? They're not really sure on a first date. Can I make the move to kiss a woman? And I think there's a lot of confusion. And then women can be frustrated because men aren't making the move as much anymore because there's a little concern there. So there's just this gap that exists. So once again, perhaps this will give you a little bit more grace if you go on a date and he's not quite making the move, and just maybe understand that he is concerned about making the move and giving the wrong impression. Thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe because I have a really fun video coming for you next week. All right, speak to you very soon. Bye-bye.